You are who you hang out with. And you've probably heard that the 5 top people that you hang out with really defines where you are in your personal life and your business life and who you are being. Hi, this is Jody Maley, and I am here with the Fearless Online Entrepreneurs, ladies. And I live in beautiful BC, Canada, and this is probably one of my favorite topics. And I'm really happy that we're doing this one today. And we are doing it from Jack Canfield's book, The Success Principles. So if each of you ladies would like to come out and just introduce yourself, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Can you hear me, Jody?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Diane Klein from Calgary, Alberta, also in Canada, and it's a snowy Calgary here this morning, so I know it's crazy, it's September and snow, but it will melt. I'm a stay-home mom of 3 beautiful kids. I'm a wife and a spouse of an amazing husband, and I work from home, and what I do is I'm here to empower women and people, not just women, but just anybody who is struggling with debt. You know, we all get bogged down with so many debts and we get depressed, and there's so many stories out there of these people that are just in trouble because of debts. Our society is just getting us to spend, and you know we do get sucked in. So that's what I'm here for. I'm here to empower you to get out of it, change your thinking, and start processing to be living a financial freedom of life. Back to you, Jody.
Awesome. Thank you, Diane. Eugenia or Sharon or Rachel, if one of you guys want to just jump out and introduce yourself.
Okay, well, it looks like it's me. Hi, my name is Rachel Kelly. I'm here in Toledo, Ohio. Excited to be here on this panel with you beautiful ladies this morning. Also want to say welcome to the guests, those who are peeping in and looking in. We are honored to have you here today. A little bit about me. I am an entrepreneur, have been for about 7 years online. And my goal and my mission is to empower families and empower individuals who desire to work online, who desire to have their own business and don't want to work for someone else. And truly, I have found the key and really excited about sharing that key with those who come into my path. And one of my biggest things is just encouraging people who come online and they really don't know where they're going. They don't have any direction. So I've actually tagged my line as an encourager. So I like to encourage people to reach their goals, reach their dreams, so that they can become a better you. Thank you very much, Jody.
Thank you. And Eugenia, do you want to do a brief intro of yourself? Oh, we can't hear you. Not quite sure what's happening there. All right, so Sharon, if you want to come out.
Good morning, everyone. Afternoon, wherever you might be in the world today. My name is Sharon Sutherland. I'm a big supporter of my husband, Lucky. He is an entrepreneur, mentor, and coach. And I love to do crafts, which you can do with your hands to make you have something to do. Be creative. I love to create. I like to create software programs. I like to do websites and all of that good stuff. And I'm also very honored to be here on this panel with these beautiful, beautiful ladies. And what we do with one another is we learn from one another, we support one another in our businesses, and we mastermind with one another so that we can better understand what we need to do and how we need to move forward. And I just want to say thank you for allowing me this opportunity to talk about myself.
Excellent. Okay, do you want to try again, Eugenia? We'll see if we can hear you.
Can you
Oh,
hear me
good.
now?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, ladies. My name is Eugenia Marin. I'm so happy and grateful to be part of this beautiful panel of ladies. And I'm a single parent of two beautiful teenagers. I go through all the struggles that you go whenever you have teenagers. It's really challenging, but it's the best thing that I could ever have is to be there for them, sharing and enjoying every single day of their life. As I said before, I'm a single parent. I want to work online. I found a lot of help with these beautiful ladies. They have supported me so very much. And I know that it might be a big road to go, but I just want to encourage other single parents to come along and help you out in as many ways as I can do it. Thank you, Jody. Back with you.
Thank you. So today's topic is, who are you surrounding yourself with, and who are the people that you're hanging out with? I first heard this just a few years ago, actually, and this is a famous quote by Jim Rohn, who is a self-development leader, and he really kind of says, who are the top 5 people that you are hanging around with, because the top 5 people that you hang around with is how you shape your thinking. and if you hang around with a bunch of people who are negative thinkers, then you're going to be starting to say more negative things. If you hang around with people who are, I wouldn't say poor, but maybe they don't have a healthy money thinking, like to them, it's like rich people are scam artists and stuff like that. So if you're even around negativity when it comes to money, all of a sudden you will be thinking negative. And I just kind of thought what was neat today is if you count all the people on our panel, there's 5. And so this power of 5 is so important, and I'm going to share a quick story with you guys, and then if anyone else here on the panel wants to jump out with any of their stories of surrounding yourself or anything like that, like as parents, because all of us on this panel, we are parents of children, and as parents, I have my youngest daughter is very, very sensitive girl. She's creative and she's sensitive, and she, she kind of gets sucked into the little girl dramas at school and stuff. And there's been a few kids that I've actually said to her, you know what, I don't want you hanging around in that group, and this is why. And you can say totally, hey, my mom doesn't want me to hang out with you. I'm okay with that, because we do that kind of stuff when we want to protect our children, and we want our children to hang out with better groups, right? And that's a conversation I've had with all of my kids. Hang out with kids who are more active, hang out with kids who are more positive, hang out with kids that you're going to have fun with. And as a parent, we teach that to our kids, and then we don't even use that for ourselves. Sometimes when we have negative, say, relatives or whatever, and there's just no way around the fact that you have to interact with family. But what I found a few years ago when I first heard this, and I thought, oh, I am not surrounding myself with people who make me feel empowered after we leave a conversation, and I really need to develop relationships with people who I can help and who they can help me, and that we can remain positive and moving forward and have our big dreams. And there were a few people, like we were actually in a different town then, which is 4.5 hours away from where we are now, and it was just me and my husband and our 2 younger kids. And I remember thinking about this and then kind of making a thing of, okay, who is it in my life that maybe I have them still attached to me through thinking and stuff like that. So mentally, okay, because I didn't go actually up to the people and say, hey man, you're negative, you're not my friend anymore, because I'm not like that. But what I did is I kind of let them go in my heart. so that I could make room for these new people that I wanted to attract, who would be positive and who I would leave the conversation being feeling exhilarated and empowered versus drained and I just need to go have a nap. So when I did that and let these people kind of go in my heart, God brought instantly, probably within the same week, 3 other people into my life who have made a huge difference in who I am today. So if you guys have any kind of stories about that as I've been talking and it has reminded you of something, go ahead and unmute yourself and share with us.
I do, Jody. I have two girls as daughters, and they've been involved in these drama things in school before. And coming from a different culture, it was a big shock when we first got here because they would they would try to become friends with some of the other kids, and they started seeing all this drama going around until one day I said, you know what? And I told them, especially my younger one, when I went to her one day and I said, you know, Vale, this is very late for you to be talking to your friend, and I don't think this is appropriate. And she turned back to me and she said, Mom, my friend needs a friend who's going through the same path as we are going. You are a divorced parent, her mom is remarried, and she's going through tough times, you know, and I believe I can help her. And long and behold, you know, as parents, I think we have this sixth sense that we can see other things. With time, she just realized by herself that she may have not been such a good friend, but nonetheless, the lesson here is that when I approach them and we discuss, and this is something that I learned with experience, is sit with them and share with them their emotions and their experiences and what they feel about their friends. And maybe just by pointing out to them the things that may not be as good as, for example, when I talk to my daughters with Luke, I use a lot of the words, be the light that you are into this world. Be that sunshine. Let people know who you are for who you are. And if they feel the same energies, they will be your friends, and everything in life has to go smoothly. If you start feeling or seeing some bumps along the road, it's okay not to be friends with the people you don't like. But it's very nice, as you said, to encourage them to be with people, be with friends that can make the best and be the best they can be. Back to you, Jody.
I'd like to piggyback on that too, Jody. I'm speaking from life experience here too, and yeah, we've gone through the drama of the junior high. We went through that the first year last year, but I wanted to share with you about life and how true it is that you have to switch friends. As most of you know, my husband is over 6 years sober now, and we totally had to get out of the influence of those friendships that we were hanging around with and switch to new friends because we had made a dramatic and instant change in our lives, and we didn't want to hang out anymore with those drinking um, like the friends that he had hung out with before that were just influencing him to drink. He had to decide, okay, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to stay sober, then I'm going to have to find some new friends who are sober. So that's what we did. And I'm not here to criticize people who are drinking or anything. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying that if you decide to do something, then you really do have to say, okay, who am I hanging around with? And who's going to drag me back in where I was, or who's going to pull me up from where I want to be. And it's the same as we're working here on our mindset, and we're on our way to becoming millionaires and entrepreneurs all together here. And who do we hang out with? What books do we read? We read influential books. We read books of people who have been there, who are millionaires now. We follow our leaders who have done what we want to do. We have to hang out with those kind of people where we want to go. And it's so true. It happens in real life, it happens in business, it happens in schools, for our kids. It just happens all around us. And if we focus on hanging around with the right people, that's where we will be.
Hey,
And I would like to
go ahead, Sharon.
piggyback on what Diane said. It is so important that you hang out with like-minded entrepreneurs. And in the beginning, I was doing that, but it wasn't the same interaction like I am now hanging out with the ladies on the panel. And it has been such a uplifting and spiritual experience for me, because I can't get out the way I want to yet, but hanging out with these beautiful ladies has been a very emotional thing for me to deal with, because I have that interaction. I'm working with the like-minded entrepreneurs, and we are growing and learning from one another. So it's very, very important that you surround yourself with like-minded entrepreneurs that will help you to grow your business or whatever you're working on. You need to be around people who are going to encourage you, who are going to inspire you, who are going to give you that kick in the butt like Jody do us when you need it. So, it's very, very important to get your mindset right, like Diane said. That's a critical part, and you need to be around people who are going to help you develop your mindset, who are going to help you to grow, and who are going to help you to see where you need what you need to do, and step out of that comfort zone and get to where you want to be. So thank you very much, ladies.
Wow, Sharon, that was awesome. Just kind of piggyback on what everyone else said. Just thinking about the 5 people that you hang around. And Jody, I love your story when you're talking about children, because I think it's so true that many people, parents, don't realize that they really should guard their children. They should not allow them around people that are not good for them. And unfortunately, they don't do that. And as a child does not know any better. They're waiting for you to guide them along the way. That's your responsibility to guide them. So I think back to and I've shared this story before, but I think that back to when my son was little. He just went to new school. Little kids were being like, oh, really? Like, I don't like calling kids bad, but these kids were bad. And I just pulled him over and said, son, now look at him and look at him. You got to try and teach them a lesson. And I said, now which one are making good decisions? That one? I said, well, that's the one that you should be hanging around. And that lesson has gone with my son for his whole life. So, definitely parents, make sure that you are, guiding your children. If you don't teach them, they won't know. That's one thing. Now, when we get older, we kind of sometimes even forget the lessons that we teach our children apply to us as well. And it's really, really important that we do hang around, 5 people, and 5 people that are going somewhere, doing something more, and if you want your income to increase, you want to get around 5 people whose income is your income, or the income that you desire to have. And and I am so blessed to be around amongst 5 ladies every day. Every day I am graced with your presence. Even just because, you have a position doesn't mean that you don't need to be encouraged. You don't need to be pushed, especially when you're a mom and you have so many different responsibilities. So I'm truly grateful for that. And then, I'm grateful for the unit of prosperity, because, being up there with, the 6-figure income earners, it just drives me a little bit more, So I just really, really, really want to encourage those that are listening in to, one at a time, start evaluating who you're hanging around with. And if they're not bringing you up, and if they're not helping you to be all that you desire to be, then it's time to start putting some X's over those people and move and find the people that you desire to be with. And, and one of my mentors, who actually used to be my mentor, Dagan Smith, one of the things he said that really, really stood out to me, you don't really even have to have a mentor per se. A mentor could be your books that you read. Like, for example, we're reading Jack Canfield. So actually, we're hanging around Jack Canfield. I mean, that's awesome within itself. So start finding books of other people that are doing what you want to do. And again, that's you hanging around them because you're in their head. You're learning from them. You're growing from them. So back to you, Jody. I'm done.
Thanks for sharing that. You know what? And I had posted this onto our website and stuff today too. But there's a real easy way of evaluating those people in your life. And like I said, it's a best friend or your mom or your brother or your sister or your father. You don't have to go up to them and say, I remove you from my life. But you don't have to react in a negative way with their negative comments. And an easy way to determine if, as you're evaluating people in your life, is do you feel empowered after you have a conversation with them, or do you feel drained and I kind of call those people the drainers. They're the life suckers that just pull all the happy feelings out of you, and then usually when you leave that conversation, you don't feel quite happy. And the thing to kind of consider with this too is the fact that the first person that you have to accept and be the happiest with is yourself. What kind of thoughts and feelings are you putting out there? How do you really feel about money, about relationships, about loving others? If you can't do that for yourself, there's a quote from the Bible that says, love your neighbor as yourself. And there's so many people who feel that they have to go around and be the perfect person and act a certain way. And, they'll put others in front of themselves, which, the Bible teaches that too. But that whole scripture of love your neighbor as yourself means that you have to truly love who you are. You have to love the skin you're born in. You have to, love your passions and what makes you happy and what makes you thrive. And, if you have to leave some relationships because they feel so draining, then, you can gently let them go, okay? And as you develop new relationships and relationships that empower you, you'll quickly see the difference. Go ahead, Diane.
Thank you, Jody. I just wanted to say, as you were speaking, I'm thinking it's actually the choices that we make. And we a lot of times want to say it's the other person to blame, but happiness is an inside job. If we're not happy with ourselves, how are people going to be happy with us? And it's the choices that we make. So if we make choices of, I made the choice of hanging out with these women here every single day, and I'm loving it, and I'm growing, and I'm just thriving in my life. I'm thriving in my relationships. I'm thriving in my business because I made the choice to hang out with like-minded people. I made the choice of doing my 30-30 every single day because I want to grow and I want to be everything that I can be. So in a lot of ways, it's our choices that we think about, and it's how we teach our kids to say, okay, I can't hang around with you. My choice is to be with that person because they're the influence that I need in my life.
Mm-hmm. And I even think too, we even encourage our kids when they do have nice friends over. I make it a point to tell my daughter or to tell my son, oh, I really liked your friend that you invited over. They're really nice kids. Because then you're kind of encouraging your children to help them pick healthy relationships. And again, it all comes back to you. Who are you even choosing? And sometimes, like I said, we get sucked up in drama situations too as adults. And, I don't want my kids to see me crying over someone who hurt my feelings or was very negative. I want to encourage my children to see, hey, we hang out with these people and they're They're our friends. They love us. In fact, my husband has several friends that he's had right from like kindergarten on. And my kids call them uncles. These are people that I've known even myself since I was in kindergarten as well. And these are people that they know you and they love you and they appreciate you for who you are. And sometimes even in getting those relationships too, you're going to have your bad days. You're going to have days that, quite frankly, they suck. But when you are surrounding yourself with somebody that, share it. Share the feeling of, man, I didn't do this, or I didn't get this accomplished, or whatever. And, it's okay to express to these people, your disappointments and your fears and this and that, but don't stay there. And again, you'll know who these people are, who they'll listen to you, but then they'll say, and they'll help you get to the next step, right? They'll help you get to the point of that you can take whatever that negativity is and turn it around into a healthy way of resolving those issues. And I think that that's kind of key in the 5 people that you hang around with too. That, years ago when I had left my ex-husband, there were people in my life who were like, wow, like, you should have left him years ago. And I'm like, why didn't you say something before that? And, there sometimes others, or maybe we're afraid to even say that to other people, but I want people who can be honest with me in my life. And that's the people that I've chosen as well. And if I am stepping out of line, or I'm, maybe crossing a boundary, I really do appreciate when people who influence you in a good way can be totally honest with you, right? I don't want them to say, hey, when I say, does this pants make my butt look fat? I want a friend who will say, yeah, don't buy that one. Those are the people that I want in my life too, people who can be honest with you. Does anyone have any last comments on that before we wrap up today?
I do, Jody. I really appreciate what you said. And as you mentioned, it's really important to hang around with people who are like-minded like you, think like you, encourage you, and let you be the best of who you are. And I just wanted to piggyback on everybody else and let you know that I really feel honored. I'm very grateful and thankful of having met you guys. For years, I've been praying to God to finally find like-minded people, ladies, or, I was open to be and meet the people that would help me grow so much. And it's amazing how much I feel I have grown. And all the things that we discuss here in the panel are things that I have studied, that I believe in. And it's just so encouraging and so refreshing to have true and honest friends. I've been involved with a lot of drama in these past few years, and I got to the point that you finally made me realize that it's better to be honest and say, I don't want to be hanging around with these people because they have hurt me or whatever. You don't stop loving them or respecting them, but it's better to keep yourself away from them and to have finally find the courage to say, these people are not good for myself. It's very strong and powerful. And it's so important, and thank you again for all the things that you guys are helping me realize in my life and stepping out in my thing. And I always thought, that, and I was kind of afraid to, as a single parent, to tell my kids, even though I said it, I don't want you to be friends with those people, not to hurt them. But it's very important in our lives to do that for our kids, because those are the best gifts that God has given us in our hands. And thank you, ladies, again. And I truly appreciate all the things that I'm learning here with you, ladies. You're making a true difference in my life. Back with you, Jody.
Thanks. I was crying earlier actually when Sharon was sharing, just how much this group has impacted each other. And when, just like Eugenia just said, people come into our lives for a reason, is what I firmly believe. And they might come into your life for a moment. They might come into your life for a couple months. They might come into your life for a couple years, or sometimes even a lifetime. And for me, every interaction I have with someone, even if it's just a smile, or to let them go in front of me, or to help someone who's overburdened with carrying their groceries out the door, there are ways that we can show appreciation, and that's the type of person that I want my kids to model too. I want my kids to, see the good qualities in myself that they can follow and mentor too. So, like I said, if you're not happy 100% or you're feeling drained from the people that you're hanging out around with, like Diane said, it's a choice. I mean, you can't choose your relatives, you can't choose your kids or your husband. Well, I guess you can, but when God puts you together, you're pretty much there for the lifetime. And these are the people that, no matter what, you do need to cultivate a relationship with. And for myself, I found, maybe I wasn't in the proper mindset with certain things. And, sometimes you do have to stand up and say, you know what, I feel this conversation's kind of, turning really negative. And let's just put that aside right now and move on to a different topic. And it took a lot of years for me to be able to say that and to feel comfortable saying that around, my best friends and my spouse and my kids. And I've frequently told people here on the panel too, I don't give my kids a timeout, I give me a timeout, because sometimes it's just the kids are fighting and stuff, and you're just like, you know what, I'm going to my room for 15 minutes, and then when I come out, things had better be different. So there are different ways that, yes, these things are going to come up, but what choices are you going to make in regards to that? So we're at the end of the hour here, and I just want to thank everyone today for coming to this. And think about, you are the 5 people that you hang around with. And my son in the background.
Double jointed.
You're double jointed.
Got a Calgary Flame t-shirt on. Let it go.
He does. He wears it on purpose because his dad is a Montreal Canadiens fan, so he just does something.
I want a Boston one now.
Oh, he wants Boston one now. Okay. So anyways, we're going to say goodbye to you ladies today. We have these inspiration talks right from Monday to Thursday. So if you are feeling the need right now that there is so much negativity in your life and you're not even sure how it came about or whatever, you know what? Hang out with us. Get your daily inspiration. We are a group that we want to inspire you. We want to help serve you. We want to show you that there are people who believe in you and your dreams. So until tomorrow, take care, everyone, and make comments on our group. FearlessOnlineEntrepreneurs.com is our website. So, go and make a comment here today if this has helped you or propelled you forward. Take care. Have a great day, guys. See you tomorrow.